Well, hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can call me Pajama Grandma, of course. In case we haven't met yet, go ahead and put a hashtag pajama in the comments below so I know it is the first time you're being exposed to me, Pajama Grandma. And I can say hi. I like interacting with the people that are brave enough to admit that they're actually watching this particular video and series. I actually share it on my podcast and a few other places. This is the one I share very selectively because it's just me sharing all about my transition from the brick and mortar corporate world to the online world of business and commerce and info products and whatever else I choose to pursue as part of that journey. So in order to not be super boring to people, I don't share it a whole lot of places. I don't share it on places that I think people would be annoyed. And I'm sure I've shared it places that people are annoyed, but I'm like, scroll by, don't listen, don't watch, don't read it. Do your own thing and I'll do mine. I want to talk a little bit about plans changing and especially last minute plans changing. I am not awesome at last minute changes of plans, and I'm way better at it now than I used to be. And I'm pretty good at it now, but I used to be terrible. If I would make a plan and things changed, it would really get me really discombobulated and I would get upset or frustrated. But I learned that things are changing all the time. You can either go with the flow or you can resist it. And the more I would resist it, of course, the more messed up things would get and the more frustrated I get. And it becomes this vicious cycle and a downward spiral. So I learned to become more and more flexible as I got older. And now I'm pretty flexible. I mean, yesterday something happened that changed my plans for the day at the very, very last minute and meant that I needed to do something entirely different than I had planned, which was awesome. It was an awesome day, but it was a total different change of plans, which meant I actually didn't do anything at all hardly for my business, except I created my morning content, and then it wasn't until like late in the afternoon that I actually even was able to share that content. And I didn't share it normally as widely as I would because of plans changing. Now today, my plans are changing again because what I was gonna do yesterday, I didn't get to do, so now I'm doing it today. And I'm awesome with that because I was willing to change my plans yesterday. It makes it really easy for me to change plans today. So how readily and how easily do you change plans and how flexible are you? Because when we're growing a business, especially an online business, it seems like we have to be very fast and very agile. And I haven't always been that way in the past because I've been so mired in traditional businesses and the traditional way of doing things. Although I will admit, one of my biggest pet peeves in corporate America was when I would work with people and they would tell me, well, that's the way we've always done it. When I'd ask them, why are you doing something a certain way? Because I was a quality director and I was all about processes and how things were actually done and how things got done and how that impacted the end result. And a lot of times people would be doing things that were, from the outside observer's eye, absolutely ridiculous and ludicrous, but to them it made perfect sense. And then you would ask them, because that's the way they were taught to do it. And you would ask them, well, why are you doing it this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing it this way? I sounded like a 3-year-old. When they get in that why stage, everything's why. I was recently reminded of that stage, and I freaking love that stage because we don't ask ourselves why anywhere near often enough. And we find ourselves in ruts of doing things that don't make any sense because we never stop and say, well, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that now? Is that what I really want to be doing? Does that make sense? So I spent a lot of time doing that yesterday, and today I will, and tomorrow because I'll be catching up from what I did differently yesterday and today. I call that life. I call that being flexible, going with the flow. And knowing that we make plans because we have to have a path. We have to know where we're going, but we also have to know that everything on the planet is subject to change. I had a sudden cardiac arrest and died. I never planned on that. And did that change the trajectory of my life and what I was doing and what I was planning and how I was implementing things? Absolutely. Is my life very different than it would have been had that not happened? I'm positive that it is. And I'm very grateful that it happened. Now, how many people can die and say, oh, I'm really grateful and happy and delighted that that happened? Now, I wasn't delighted the first week or so after it, or maybe even the first year or so, because things were messed up and a lot of changes had to take place. But looking back now, it's one of the best things that ever happened to me. So today, I'm going to go visit my beautiful grandmother. I think I've said that at least twice before in the last week because plans have changed that many times this week. But today we are going. Even if it's rainy and terrible, we are still going to go, and it's going to be a beautiful day. So what can you do to be more flexible when plans change? What can you do to just be more open to the possibilities that are all around us all the time? Go out, do that, make it a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow with day 197 of What's She Up To Now.